Dave Richard is going to put us to sleep on this edition of Fantasy Football Today Express. Yeah, hello,
I'm
Dave.
not going to put you to sleep. I'm going to try and give you some sleepers to start thinking about for your drafts.
I
And I was also going to give you some nice recipes based on items in my home garden.
Oh, okay. And then we can, maybe we'll paint some happy little trees over there. Something. That guy puts me to sleep. All right, Dave. How about some post NFL draft?
What position you want to start with?
Tight end.
There are two tight ends that I absolutely love drafting late, and their names begin with T. Let's start with a veteran, Tucker Kraft. He's been around a couple of years, some awesome metrics after the catch. Right as soon as the 2024 season ended, Matt LaFleur talked about how they needed to get Tucker Kraft and more involved in the Green Bay offense. I think there's an opportunity for his target volume to go up. It wasn't very high to begin with. I think he could touch 6 per game. That's a good number for a tight end to average in a PPR league. He is a top 10 tight end for me and a top 100 player. If I miss on one of the stud tight ends early on, give me some Tucker Kraft right around round 9.
Okay. And who's the other one? Tat Fryermuth?
No, it's Tyler Warren, the rookie with Indianapolis. And this is more of like, I love the talent. When I watched him play, he just reminded me of a moose. And the Colts have to do something to try and improve their offense. And here's a guy they can get the ball to consistently in the short area and to win in the red zone. Just an absolute behemoth of a tight end who can make plays after the catch. He can run through tackles. It's going to take multiple defenders, multiple NFL defenders to take him down. And I just see him potentially being the best pass catcher in Indianapolis this year. I know their quarterbacks suck, but I think their quarterbacks can throw the ball inside of 5 yards, especially if there's like a 6'5", 6'6" target that they're throwing to. I think Warren's got a real shot to be awesome. And I would take him over Colson Loveland. Certainly, both are going to be in crowded offenses. But I think Warren will see more targets and more catches and more touchdowns.
I never thought that comparing someone to a moose would be so appropriate, but that is a great call. I love Tyler Warren. All right, let's go to running back, Dave.
Just for the record, I compare Colson Loveland to Darren Waller. So one of them got a comp to an NFL player. The other one got a comp to, a wildebeest. Which position?
Running back.
Let's do it. And there's 4 running backs. They're more like lottery ticket guys. They're handcuff backs. It's Zach Charbonnet. It's Isaac Guerrero. It's Braylon Allen with the Jets. It's Jordan Mason with the Vikings. These 4 guys, I would love to come out of my draft with at least one of them. And it's not just because of injury, because obviously Ken Walker in Seattle, Christian McCaffrey in San Francisco. Yeah, we know those guys could miss time. They could get hurt, and the replacements could go in and step up. But I also wonder, more so in the case of Charbonnet and Jordan Mason, could they outplay the veteran in front of them? Could they be better? And the coaching staff say, hey, you know what? Let's just roll with the hot hand. And Charbonnet was the better running back, in my opinion, in Seattle's offense last year after Kenneth Walker got hurt. He never looked the same when he came back. Walker, more of a feast or famine type of running back. Charbonnet, a little bit more steady, also very good in pass catching situations. So Charbonnet is somebody that I definitely gravitate toward. And we're talking after pick 100. This is the range for all 4 of those running backs. There's 2 more. These are rookie running backs. And I know that fantasy managers love taking rookie running backs. Cam Scadaboo in New York, Bashal Tutin in Jacksonville. I wonder if you draft them and you just stay patient, they get opportunities to lead each of their respective backfields. Jacksonville's offense could really take a big step forward this year, adding Travis Hunter, getting Trevor Lawrence back. The offensive line is what it is. Tutin's really fast. He could bring an element that they haven't really had there with ETN and Tank Bigsby, at least not on a consistent basis. And Scadaboo's kind of the exact opposite, not an explosive offense in New York. Questions about the quarterback, but this dude's physical. He's tough. He's kind of a mini moose, Adam. Yeah. He's not going to break a lot of big plays for yardage, but he can turn 2-yard gains into 5 or 6 yard gains. He could score a decent amount of touchdowns. Somebody that, all right, we're not going to use him as a top 15 type of fantasy running back, but we're drafting him round 9, round 10. Excellent opportunity for a guy who can also catch the ball a little bit in Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, there was some report. I'm trying to find it, that the Giants might use him. Just, a beat writer just guessing. They might use him as the 3rd down back, which would be interesting because he struggles in pass protection, but he is good catching the ball. All right, let's take a break. We got wide receivers and quarterback sleepers after this. Back here on FFT Express, quarterback. Who you got?
Quarterbacks. And again, we're talking right around or after pick 100. Actually, this is way past pick 100, in my opinion. 4 names for you. And I'm going to bunch them in duos. Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. That's the first duo. Justin Fields is someone I've come around a lot on over the last month and a half, just because I don't think there's a lot of real competition for his job. I think he's still going to be able to run. That offensive line is better in New York. Certainly could be an impactful quarterback. I always like starting quarterbacks when I put them in my lineup, I go, all right, I got 6 fantasy points locked up just with what they do with their legs. Okay, 60 yards or a touchdown. Lucky if I get both in the same game. And that means that they don't have to do nearly as much throwing the football. And that's what I'm kind of counting on with Justin Fields. And we've seen it in parts of his career before where he averages around 20 fantasy points per game, but he has upside for more than that. I like that he's throwing to Garrett Wilson. That's a guy who can make plays after the catch for him. Maybe Mason Taylor, their rookie tight end, can do the same thing. Good late round quarterback that you can begin the year with as your starter. Trevor Lawrence isn't going to run, but he's got Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter to throw to. I like Bashal Tutin as a sleeper. I'm not saying that Bashal Tutin or any Jaguars running back is going to take this offense and make Trevor Lawrence a game manager. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm concerned about Jacksonville's defense not being very good. It could lead to a lot of high-scoring shootouts where Trevor Lawrence has over 300 yards, multiple touchdowns, maybe a turnover or 2 as well, but certainly earns great value as a not top 12 drafted fantasy quarterback. The 2 sleepers, I'll be brief, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, second-year quarterbacks, good offenses. We've seen quarterbacks shine, including Sam Darnold in Minnesota, so maybe it's J.J. McCarthy's turn with Kevin O'Connell calling the plays, and he's got great receivers to throw to. Drake May doesn't have great receivers to throw to, but he'll run a little bit. I think he's an ascending player, and you're not even drafting him as a top 15 quarterback. Maybe you should, because he's got some huge upside for fantasy.
And that just leaves us with some sleeper wide receivers, Dave. Take it home.
And these are boring names. I'm not going to include Ricky Pearsall because I think he's more of a breakout candidate. And they're names we're drafting these guys later than we've ever drafted them. Stephon Diggs and Cooper Kupp. And we're hoping that Stephon Diggs is ready to go at the beginning of the year to be the number 1 target for Drake May. And if he's about as good as he was last year, hey, I'll take that. And we're talking round 8, round 9. I'd love to have that guy on my bench to begin the year. He'll probably be my number 3 receiver, if not a low-end number 2 receiver by the time we get to mid-October. Cooper Kupp, we know what his potential is as a pass catcher, and we know that he's a good fit for this offense in Seattle. They changed offensive coordinators. It's going to look a lot like what we saw in LA, not San Francisco. I'm sorry for saying that, but LA, it's going to be the same type of usage, I think, for Cooper Kupp, where he's running a lot of in-breaking routes, a lot of timed routes with Sam Darnold, not a lot of downfield stuff. It's just a matter of whether or not he can stay healthy. But we've seen this dude average over 20 PPR points per game. Now we're drafting him in round 7, 8. I don't mind that value at all. I think he's a sleeper. And one more sleeper. This one's totally unsexy at wide receiver. But if Christian Kirk is going to begin the year as the slot guy in Houston, that's the role that Stephon Diggs had last year. That should be a ticket for at least 12 PPR points per game.
Yeah, man. All right, good calls. Thank you, Dave Richard. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to FFT Express, and we will talk to you on Wednesday. See you later.